It's probably behind a desk or something.
But anyway, let's begin.
Let's
Okay.
Um, how should we begin?
just begin.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Permadeath Podcast, Episode 3.
That's a good way to begin.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We are missing Kubo today. He has sent me a text message that said really cryptically, please do the show without me. Things have happened. I can't tell you about it. And then there was a bunch of digits at the end. It was 03221992. And I sent him a text message back. I go, Kubo, what does that mean? And I got an MMS message back from him, and it was the picture of a bunch of chains. So I'm not sure what has happened to Ryan Kubo, but we might find out. We might not find out. We won't find out. So we're now a three-piece. Welcome, everybody, to the Permadeath Podcast, Episode 3. And what a symbolic episode it is, because we are now a three-piece. And we have lots of games to talk about today. How are you two doing?
I'm doing
Let's
pretty
go. Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Better than Kubo, I assume.
Well, yeah, he's out there having a clown ask him if he wants
Yes.
to play a game right
He
now.
he
So,
he is trapped in some kind of psychological torment. Uh,
do you want to play a game?
that was like a really that was like the Don Draper version of the Saw guy. That wasn't really menacing at all.
It's just a guy with a deep voice.
Play a game.
Just asking, hey, you want to play? Hey, I got some beer. You want to play a game? No.
Oh,
That would have been a good chance for a segue. Like, speaking of playing games,
oh yeah!
I'm so good at this. I'm so good at podcasting.
Boom.
That's pro.
So what have you guys been up to?
We should ask Abby because she's been gone.
Oh yeah, that's right. We missed
Yeah, I've been
you.
gone for ages.
We missed you for the last episode, and then we didn't do an episode last week. And then how have you been? How was your trip?
My trip was pretty good. I saw Ghibli films in the cinema, and that
That's
was
crazy.
awesome. Because it was like, I just thought they were just going to put Blu-rays on, to be honest, but no, it was proper films
Wait.
and whatever.
Did they show like every one or like a?
No, we only went to see Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke. Sorry, my throat's really bad today for some reason. But like Howl's Moving Castle was one of the examples of people in the cinema ruining cinema experiences for me.
Oh.
Were they like woo?
No, it was just I had this couple in front of me that must have been on a date or something. And they were just going at each other, and I'm like, sit in the back row at least. It's just like they were right in front of the subtitles as well, so I couldn't not look at it.
Who goes at each other and Howl's Moving?
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is a perfect story for a romance date. Like it turns a young girl into an old lady.
Yeah,
It was just so awkward. And we were really tired because we'd been around London all day as well. So back shift was next to me, and he kept falling asleep, and I kept nudging him, and he kept waking up and falling straight back to sleep. It was like not a very good experience, I suppose, but I played on some games while I was there in London.
What'd you play? Any specific?
I should go in like an order of what I played. So I played on Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, which finally came out. And I'm not going to spend too long talking about it, but it's pretty good so far. Apart from Ubisoft are, as always, terrible at their PC ports, because it just doesn't run very well. And I'm starting to think that maybe my computer maybe needs some upgrades or something.
Could be.
So,
Could just be bad optimization.
oh, it's been like that with every Assassin's Creed game, because for PC they always come out like a month later. And they're really shit. And they always need like gigs and gigs of patches and stuff. It's stupid. So yeah, I liked the mechanics of that, and like you play as a female in it, and it just works playing as a female because you have like different alter egos that you can choose. So you can be the slave or the lady or the assassin, and you have to use those for different situations. And I thought that was a really like neat mechanic and stuff.
So like you're a fancy pants, or is that what the lady is? Like you wear a dress? And...
Yeah, you wear like a dress, and you can flirt with men to like get past them and stuff.
That's sweet.
It's really clever.
Now,
to be honest.
does that take place like during Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, I think so. I think Connor turns up in a mission later on.
Oh, cool.
I haven't played on a lot of the game, to be honest. I played for like 3 hours, maybe. And it was good. I quite liked it. I didn't think I was going to like it all that much, but I'm quite surprised. So that was the first thing that I played on. And I've been getting back into Pokemon X and Y
Mm.
because I've been super excited about Pokemon Bank for some reason.
Oh yeah, it came out.
Yeah, that came out like yesterday or something, I think. I don't know. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna get back into Pokemon, and then I realize I've got nothing to do, so I just like get tons of eggs and try to hatch them, and it's just not that interesting to do, I suppose.
Yeah, that will be my experience if I decide to go back into Pokemon. I also
Well,
kind of had a thought, like, oh, I should probably get back into it with Pokebank, but then I'm like, I'm probably gonna end up just trying to hatch a shiny Charmander to
Yeah,
like,
I've been trying to hatch a shiny Snivy, and it's not working. So,
now that Pokebank, that allows you to store Pokemon from your old games, right? Like,
hmm I think
oh,
so.
okay,
Anyway, I'm not sure.
okay,
yeah,
because I don't
that's.
have any of the old games anymore, so I don't have any.
I have hard gold still.
Um,
That's the only thing I'll
so I
do.
guess like for someone like me, it's useless. Or
Well, I'm gonna get it just because you get a Celebi for free.
ooh, that's right.
So
That's right.
I'm gonna have it in reserve, I suppose, but there's like a yearly fee of like 300 yen or something, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like $5 in the States, I think, for a year. Uh,
It's stupid cheap, but I don't feel like paying
yeah,
for it, so.
I guess for someone like me, it's kind of useless now because, well, one, I didn't beat the game yet. I'm still on Gym 3. Um,
Are you
Well, you were
ever
on
gonna
Gym
beat
2
it?
last time.
well, actually, I thought I was on Gym 2. I turned it on
Ah,
since the last time we recorded, and I actually have the second badge. So
man.
I'm on Gym 3. Fuck yeah. I made progress without even playing the game. That's how good I am.
Are you ever gonna go back to it? Is
Oh,
that like part of
yes.
the plans? Like
I
when? Or is it just kind of like, whenever kind of thing?
I see. I'm torn because I want to beat Fire Emblem first,
Mm.
but that's not gonna happen. So,
Oh, did you buy Bravely Default?
no, it comes out. It comes out in. Oh shit! Wait, did it come out?
I guess I'm buying
I
it right now.
I think it comes out this week. Um, let me check.
I've heard really, really good things about
Yeah,
that game.
February 7th. That's right. Comes out Friday. Nintendo's strange release dates for games that comes out on Fridays and Sundays, and that usually the games come out Tuesdays in the States. That's not uh usually, but oh, that comes out on payday. That's bad. That's a bad thing. No, I'm not gonna buy it off the bat. It's I mulled it over and it's stupid for me to do that. Like it's just I have to stop making these dumb decisions and like buying games only because well like buying in excess. I'm not gonna stop buying games, but buying games in excess like this because like it's my last semester of school and I have to sort of keep some money. like at least I've even taken money out of my savings to buy stuff over the last like 2 years for games. Like that's not cool. But I've done it. And this, if I bought Bravely Default this week, that's $40 for a game that I won't put in my 3DS for months. Uh,
There's just no points, pretty
there is
much.
no point. I mean, I have so many games on Steam, and I just resub to WoW. And dude,
Mm.
I'm subscribed to two MMOs at the same time. Like,
And there's another one that's gonna be
oh,
NDA lifted soon.
yes, and I'll probably be buying the NDA MMO as well. Uh, so even though I shouldn't because it's not the best NDA MMO in the world, but um, I
I can't wait until we can talk about that.
I
I
can't
really can't.
I can't resist not being able to explore the world of NDA. So it's like
It's a wonderful world.
um,
I bet
well,
some people are just gonna get so pissed at us being like, "You're in this game and you're not talking about it." Oh.
stop saying NDA, you fucking prick. Um, but
We'll stop saying it next week.
yeah, yeah, the NDA
And next
lifts
week.
on the 11th, so we can talk about NDA. Uh, But yeah, so no, I'm not gonna get Bravely Default. But there have been so many articles popping up over like today and over the last few days, like just praising the game and its fundamentals and how it's such a good classic JRPG and it's a must own. And I'm like, it does look good, and the demo was pretty good. But it's $40 and like
Yeah, I'll probably be
it's
picking it up once
it's
I finish
it's
Fire
one of
Emblem.
those like 60, 70 hour games, and like I have a lot of those already on the 3DS, and like I f- like uh, I finally just got around to beating The Last of Us after like almost a year of owning it. Like that's
Oh.
only a 12-hour game, so there's no way in fuck I'm beating a 40-hour one, especially when juggling two pay-to-play MMOs right now, which is why that I do that. I don't know what's going through my head. Um, it's just
You're
not
saving money, Bill. You're saving money.
good. Oh man.
No, but even though you already have such a big backlog, you think it would be worth it for you to buy it if you would actually like play through the whole thing?
Yeah,
Would you do it?
if I was gonna buy the game, no, no. The thing about backlogs is weird because like I feel like I can't buy any games with this backlog. But like if there's a game I really want to play, usually like even with the backlog, I'll buy it, play it, and beat it, and just put all the backlog games in the well keep
Further
keep
backlog.
them in there, put them further in the backlog. So I mean, like I really want to play Bravely Default. So I mean, like I guess I would buy it and play that one, but at the same time, like that's such a dick move because like Fire Emblem's so good, and like why haven't I beaten that yet? Like what Pokemon? I bought Pokemon midnight launch. I went to go buy it. I got on a whim. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go buy Pokemon, and I wasn't gonna get it, but I'd buy it anyway. And so I went and bought it. I'm like, okay, this is my game. I'm gonna play this fucking game, and I haven't beaten it.
Yeah, you got 2 gyms in. That's not
Such
too
a
bad.
I don't understand how you haven't gone, yeah, this is really good, and carried on playing it.
Yeah, it's really good,
It's
man.
fucked up. And that was the same thing with The Last of Us. Like, first of all, I mean, I'll talk about The Last of Us a little bit later. Like playing that game and loving the living shit out of it. The whole like the first half I played it, and then I just kind of stopped. Like, and well, in my defense, The Last of Us makes me made. I beat it. I can say past tense now with The Last of Us. The Last of Us made me really tense, and I would always pause it after an encounter and be like, "Oh, I gotta go downstairs and get a drink. I gotta take a break." Um, and so it took me a long time to beat that. That and my sister held the PS3 hostage. That's another thing like I had to work through was her Little Big Planet addiction. Um, but yeah, like, even Pokemon, like I was loving the shit out of it. I was tweeting, "I love Pokemon. It's a great game," and I never beat it. Like, fuck.
I think it is that Pokemon game is like one of the best to come out in years. I think it's so good. Well, it's the only one to come out in years because they're really slow, but whatever.
It was the first one I played since Ruby and Sapphire. Um,
That must be a jump
like
in
oh,
like Ruby and Sapphire.
huge jump. Like I played Pearl for like an hour and then I like didn't really play it again. So I don't really count that like as playing one of them. Like when I say I played a game, usually I got at least 15 20 hours into it if it allows me to play that long. So getting into a Pokemon game uh, after all that time, like all the advances, like I don't even know what were new features in this and what were just features that came with years of refinement over the last few generations.
Uh,
But like the jump from Ruby and Sapphire, this is so awesome. Like I loved it. I was loving it so much. Um, but
I think it's a game that like I was really worried when they said it's going to be on the 3DS because I thought, well, it's just going to be the same thing, and it is to a certain degree. But I'm just going to have to buy a shinier console for it. Um, I ended up getting the 3DS for Animal Crossing anyway, so could have just played that on the Wii, but whatever.
that's exactly what happened with me. I bought a 3DS on a whim. I was having a really bad month last summer, and I wasn't in a good mood. I'm like, I gotta buy myself something. So I I bought a 3DS, and I haven't bought anything for myself over $150 before. Like, well, this one I got it off Craigslist for 100, but like I never like went out and like, yeah, I'm gonna buy myself a fucking console. Like I'm like
Yeah.
on my own. Like everyone in my house plays these things. We always kind of like pitch in. But this was like I went out and I bought this thing for Animal Crossing. I wanted to play Animal Crossing, and then I ended up just buying all these other games with it, and then Pokemon was just a bonus. Like
I, f-
after I had it.
I feel like I probably wouldn't have gotten a 3DS if I didn't know that Pokemon was coming at that point,
Mm,
because I knew eventually I was going to have to buy one anyway, because I've played on
Yeah,
all the
that's
Pokemon
kind of
games.
exactly the same with me. I also bought the 3DS for Animal
You bought like
Crossing.
5 of them.
Shut up. That was that's later. No, but the original, my first 3DS, I bought it knowing that Pokemon was coming out, and I was gonna buy one anyways, because I wanted to play the new Pokemon game.
Mm.
And Animal Crossing was coming out, and I kind of got into the hype for that, and that's kind of why I bought it.
I don't understand
It came with
why.
Ocarina of Time. It came with Ocarina of Time when I bought it. I bought it off Craigslist, like
I do
build
need to
it.
get that game. I need to get Ocarina
I
of Time.
haven't played any more than like 30 minutes of it because I ended up playing Animal Crossing, but then I haven't played Animal Crossing in ages.
Yeah,
dude,
the black mark on my gaming history is I've never finished Ocarina of Time.
me too.
I just feel like
It's
that's a game that
really
I should have finished like
I
20 years ago, you know?
I'm
it's a
with.
perfect chance. You guys both have
Well,
3DSs.
I here's the thing. Right now, I temporarily own Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. My cousin wanted me to borrow it to play it, and I go, okay, yeah, I'll borrow it, and I'll beat it. But he doesn't know me, like, well, he knows me, but he doesn't know my
He
gaming.
doesn't know your
He,
backlog.
he doesn't know what I have sitting here, um, waiting to
If
play.
only he
So,
knew.
so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll borrow and beat it. And he goes, yeah, my little because it's his, technically his little brothers. And he goes, yeah, he still plays from time to time. So whenever you're done, just let me know. And that's been, I was like 5 months ago. It's still sitting here on my
It's
desk.
just been sitting there.
Well, he hasn't asked for it.
Have you like booted it up yet?
No,
Or
I haven't even put it in my 3DS.
what a
Um,
shame, dude. What a shame.
I have at least 5 games for the 3DS that I haven't even put into my 3DS. Uh,
Yeah, I'm about the same because I have a few that are still sealed.
so now, I like to open my games when I get them, but I guess you know what? If I buy a game and I know I'm not going to play it, maybe leaving it or anytime soon, maybe leaving it sealed is not a bad idea because then you take it back to the store.
Yeah, because I know like Shinobi or like some of the other I think like Street Fighter stuff. Like if I open it, I'm gonna put it into the DS for like 30 minutes tops, and then I'm probably not gonna play it until I finish one of the main games I'm playing because
Yeah,
those aren't like games I'm like super looking forward to. But if I bought something like Tales of the Abyss right now, I would open it straight up. Like I wouldn't keep something like that sealed. It's mainly for games that I don't really care for much, too much for. I got for like really cheap.
but yeah, dude, like I haven't played Animal Crossing. Like that's where I bought it. The main thing I bought the 3DS for, I haven't touched in months, and I
I
put it
think
back.
Animal Crossing though is one of those games where you're like, yeah, I really like Animal Crossing for like 3 weeks, and then you're like, what am I
Yeah,
doing with my life? And then you just turn it off and don't turn it on again for months when you're like, oh, Animal Crossing.
I
I
remember.
really like Animal Crossing.
I remember before buying the 3DS, like I was just on the Animal Crossing subreddit. I'm like reading all this stuff about New Leaf, and I'm like, yo, this looks so awesome. Like I haven't gotten into an Animal Crossing, like really into it, like since the GameCube one. Like I played them all for a little bit. I own them all, and I played Wild World quite a bit. But and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It's so nostalgic. I want to play Animal Crossing. I'm gonna get really into it. I'm gonna do everything every day, and then like I just start to feel that like, okay, well I did a lot of the stuff during the day, and there's nothing good to buy in the shops. Um, I guess I'm gonna turn this off. Uh,
Well, yeah, that could happen with a game
I
like
don't
that.
have any
There's times
friends
where you're
to
when
play
you
with.
you're kind of bored in
Well,
it.
the thing with Animal Crossing is there is sort of an end to it, but there's not like a really decisive end where you're like, okay, I don't need to play this anymore.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you can pay off your mortgage and
yeah.
stuff, but
I
you can
get the
still go to
statue.
the shops every day and buy new clothes or whatever. But it's just it doesn't have an end, which is a good thing for some games. I feel like Minecraft, um, that doesn't have an end, and that's fine the way it is. But Animal Crossing, it's just one of those things that can totally absorb your life if you let it.
Yeah, I think I think I was trying to play Animal Crossing the wrong way. Like I think there might for some people there might be a wrong or right way to play that. Like for me, like oh, there's not a lot to do on a day-to-day basis. I've gone to the shops, I've caught some fish, I made some money. But I think it's just a cool game to just turn on every day for a little bit and see what's going on. Visit your town, talk to some
I've
animals.
never ever played it that way.
But
It's
me
always
neither.
been
Like
I've
yeah.
shopped today, I've checked in with everyone, I've done some errands, I've done some fishing, whatever. Let's skip forward a day.
That's
And
what I
then I get
did.
into that cycle where I've played it for a day, but in game it's been 3 months. It's been like I,
That's how I played it on GameCube. It was
oh,
like
you had to
year,
like turn it off and reset it and
yeah.
set the console time, didn't you?
That was like it was like yep. That was like the year I was in the year 2099, and like I had the golden statue. I cheated. I used like a turnips like exploit where like I would skip to a Sunday and make it a really good day for turnips. And then I had a code for turnips that I just gave to Tom Nook, and he would hand me turnips, and I would sell them back to him for the really high price. So like, and I got to the point where I couldn't store any more bells like in my basement, so I had just sacks of bells just outside my house, like in the backyard. And like I played with my brother and his friend, like they would come over and like they had houses in the village, and I'd be like, "You touch my fucking bells!" Because anybody can just walk over and take them. They're just all sitting out there, and I had so much money, and I had nothing to spend it on. So I'm just some big rich conservative asshole with so much money, and like, yeah, that's what happens when you cheat in Animal Crossing. You just become an asshole with horns.
I
Um,
remember I turned it off once while it was saving because I was an idiot or something.
ooh, did it corrupt?
No, but my character no longer had a face.
Oh
It just
wow,
had, instead of eyes and a mouth, it had like two big black holes where the eyes should have been and a
that is
small
so
little
cool
triangle for the
though.
mouth. It was terrifying. I turned it
That
off and
is
cried.
so
I
cool.
was terrified.
Damn,
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, I would totally just like get super invested into a game if my character looked like that.
you heard
I'll
it
just
first. You want your game to capture Yokorama's interest. You
Well,
heard.
like that will add quite a bit of more interest because unless it is like happy-go-lucky dude just
yeah, you
running
get to be
around,
this soulless.
it's just like this soulless like black eye, black hole
So
face. Just
what sucks now about like New Leaf is I went back to it like a few weeks ago, and like some
Is
people
it just
moved
weeds
out.
yeah, that's the
There's
only. That's why
just
I don't want to go back because my favorite
weeds,
friends are gone.
weeds everywhere. My town looks like a piece of crap. But I think is there a way in New Leaf to pay to have all the weeds removed, like
Oh.
or something, or did I just make that up?
Hire somebody, just like hire.
I would
Is
pay
it the
for.
town hall or something?
I think there might be something. Like I know that there's a town like when you're the mayor and you could pick like, oh, my town is like a nightlife town and it stays open later. I think there's one that makes it so that weeds grow in slower, which would help me anyway because I haven't played in months, so I still have weeds. But uh,
That mayor thing was like, I was so excited, like, oh, it's something a bit different in an Animal Crossing game. But literally, I put down like a well, and then it
it
was
takes
like,
forever to
well,
get it.
I'm done. I
I,
don't want to do this anymore because
I
no
put
one puts in any bells. It's just
yeah,
me.
I put in
What's
the
up with that?
request.
Like we're
Yeah,
supposed to all work together as a
She's
community.
like, oh, it's
Sons of guns,
90,000
man.
bells. You put in 100, I'll put in the rest. Don't worry about it. It's like so stupid.
like
Like I'm the mayor.
I put in an ordinance for like a bench or something because somebody asked me like, "Oh yeah, you should put in a bench," and I'm like, "Oh okay, you really want this bench, don't you, Bird?" So I go to the office and I'm like, "I'm gonna help my citizen out and put in a bench," and I go and I set up the little gyroid things like beep, 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 dancing where the bench is gonna go, and okay, I'm donating some money, and it's an insane amount of bells, and I'm like, well, I don't want to spend all my money for a bench. Like, I have hats and shit I want to buy. I'm a mayor. I got a fucking mortgage to pay off, you know. Like, I'm not made of money, Bird. Help pay
It's
for your goddamn bench.
it's so weird that like a bench costs probably more than half of your mortgage.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's so expensive to put things in, and I'm like, why? It's three pieces of wood
Yeah.
that you
Like
sit
I could
on.
go. I'll
It's
just go build it myself, man. Like
And
shit.
yo, hey, Bird, why do you even fucking want it? You got a beautiful house. Go sit in it. Like, what the hell? What are you gonna?
don't go outside.
And I put it in like the dumbest spots, like next to like the side of a cliff. Like not even a nice spot for the bench. Like, oh, here's a nice view. Here's right next, and not like the cliff that's like out looking over the beach. Like the cliff that's to the left of the screen that you can't walk anymore. Like I put the bench there. Like they're looking at nothing. Like here you go, Bird. You
I always had
relax.
the problem where it was like, oh, you want to put it here? You can't. You want
Oh
to put it
yeah.
here? You can, but 4 feet that way. And it's like, no,
Yep.
that's not centered.
that
No.
that happened with my street lamp. They're like, "Oh, we should put a street lamp in." Okay, I want to put it here because it's fucking dark here and it would look nice. Well, you can't. I'm the mayor. I'll do whatever the hell I want. Like, why are you telling me what to do? Lady, what's her name? Lucille? That's make that
Isabel.
up. Isabel. That's not even close.
Lucille. Lucille.
What the hell game on this place? Someone was named Lucille in.
Oh
None?
god.
Maybe? I don't know.
It's-
Who the fuck's
There's
Lucille?
probably a character called the
Yeah.
Seal
Let me
That
look
somewhere in
up.
sounds
Animal
like a
Crossing.
character
I'm gonna
name.
look up Animal Crossing Lucille because I think I might have had a villager named Lucille. Animal Crossing Lucille. Well, there's a pig named Lucy.
Oh, I've had Lucy.
Well, I never had someone named Lucille, so I just made that name up. Uh, oh, but yeah, Animal Crossing. I don't want to say I love the series so much. I think it has so much charm, but
Why though? I don't know why.
yeah, I can't honestly I can't put my finger on it because especially like I can't because I can't bring myself to play it anymore, but I still love it. Like if that makes any sense. Like I
I
don't.
know as soon as they bring out the new one, if it was on the Wii U, I'd be like, well, I guess time to buy a Wii U.
They probably
Because
will.
It's console. That it's there to sell consoles. That's what it's there for.
yeah,
That's what
that's
it
what they
seems
need. They
like.
don't need Zelda. They don't need a new
Yeah, they just
Mario
need this
game. They
like
need Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing that you just like don't know why you like. It's brainwashing. That's what it is. It's
Oh,
conspiracy.
it's so good though, and I don't know why it's good.
It's because of
And you
KK
can have this conversation with a million people, I swear, and no one will be able to go, this is why it's good.
Yeah, they'll just say, "Oh, I like it. I like."
That's why it's good because I like it.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Any other games that you've played? Uh,
Played on No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise.
Ooh, is that the port of the first one?
That's a part of the first one on PS3.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
So it
I
went
always
from
want
the
to
Wii
pick
to
that up.
PS3, and it was really good. Like, there's not a lot I can say about it because I think a lot of people know that No More Heroes is my favorite game. Because, like, my username is a reference to No More Heroes and all this sort of stuff. But um, they fixed pretty much every problem I had with it,
Sweet.
which was cool.
I've always wanted to pick up the
And
port.
Yeah,
oh,
so
you
it's the
should, sure.
superior version then. If you're gonna pick it up, go with this one. Say.
Yeah, they had this like in the Wii, there's this thing called Dark Side mode, which is basically random chance, where every time you kill an enemy, a slot machine comes up on the bottom of the screen, and if you get three of anything, sorry, if you get three of like one symbol, it gives you like a superpower for a little bit. And in the Wii version, it just happens straight away, and you just have to use it there. And a lot of the times that will happen on the last enemy in the room, and you'll just be there for like 30 seconds just waiting for it to go away. But in the PS3 version, you can stock it so you can save it for later and use it later on, which is like a vast improvement. And they added a lot of boss battles in from No More Heroes 2, so I assume they're not going to port No More Heroes 2 if you're worried about story and stuff, which you shouldn't be about No More Heroes.
That's what I was gonna ask. Because I played the first one, I never played the second one.
Well, I don't think it really needed a sequel. I just really wanted one and was thoroughly disappointed with it.
Ooh.
Which is like, it's one of those things because everyone's like, well, No More Heroes 2 is the better game. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but I just prefer No More Heroes 1. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I've never played that. I never really. Well, I did own a Wii for a little bit, but that was
Oh,
always a
you
game that
haven't you?
I have a Wii U now. But I mean, back then.
Probably pick that game up for like $5 now. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's like super cheap and it's
Well,
really short.
but you're saying that like the PS3 version is better, so I might
Yeah,
just go with that because I don't really care
I
about the
wouldn't.
story. Plus, I don't know
I
if I'm
would.
gonna want to go through like two games right away. Anyways, if anything, I could just pick up the second
Well,
one if
they're
I.
super short games, and like because the second game was all like, oh, it's 51 ranks now instead of 10, and it's like okay. And then you have this one battle at rank 49, I think, and it takes you from rank 49 to rank 25 in that one fight,
Hmm.
and it's
Oh,
just oh, so it's the exact same game just with different bosses that aren't as good as the ones in the first one. Okay, I don't know. But No More Heroes. Heroes Paradise is really good. I would suggest not playing it with the PlayStation Move because I don't think that the PlayStation Move works as well as the Wii motion controls do. So they're trying to like replicate those with the PlayStation Move, and it just doesn't work. Um,
I just don't like motion controls in general.
they
That's
work,
why I got pissed off with my Wii back when I bought one years and years ago. I got that and I picked up Resident Evil 4 with it and I had trouble with that because I was like I'm aiming and it's just going all over the place. I'm so confused. I hate this system. I only played it for like
yeah.
30 minutes and I returned it. So
Um, the motion controls worked really well on the Wii version of No More Heroes. Because I don't know why. It just worked really well in the game, and it wasn't super annoying or whatever.
Yeah, I really liked slashing up and down when to finish off an enemy. It just felt
Yeah,
good.
it felt really satisfying and good.
Yeah.
And it still feels that way if you use the controller,
Oh,
but a little
is
bit
it?
less so.
Does it take advantage? Like, does it use a six axis too? Maybe or no?
No,
Uh,
um, it's just so good.
yeah,
I
I'll
really
check it
want to
out.
get.
But hey, is it still as good playing with just a regular controller or did you like it more? Like what's the difference?
Um, there's a helicopter outside my house.
Nice.
There's a little bit. It felt more satisfying to play it with the motion controls, but I didn't have much of a problem doing
It
anything with the
didn't
controller.
take away from the experience or anything, right?
No, aside from if there were downed enemies that were just lying on the floor, you had to press like what was it, R2 and triangle or something to kill them, and it was just a mechanic that did not work. I could never get it to work because you're supposed to like press the button and then you stab them and they're dead. But they just lie there in the way, and you always lock onto them when they're lying on the floor for some reason, and it's really frustrating. But I don't think that's a fault of like the controller. I think that's just a fault of the game design.
Yeah.
So I would recommend like getting the PS3 version probably,
Yeah, that's what I will go for.
um, because there's a lot more content to it as well, and it just looks shinier. So give that one a
Yeah, I
go.
could imagine it looking better, like graphics wise.
HD baby,
I will
HD
say
baby.
though, the saving and the loading screens are like 10 times longer. It's so frustrating.
That
Uh,
sucks.
oh, and
That
this is just like totally aside to No More Heroes, but I finally got a PlayStation 2. So
Hey, now you can play my favorite game ever. Well, no, that's not true. My favorite game on the PS2, Shadow of Destiny.
I saw that in the shop the other day, and I was like looking for
uh,
Shadow of the Colossus, and I was like, oh, that's not it. So,
Bummer. Um,
so there's two games that I really want to play. I bought my first game today, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the
ooh.
Roses. So
I
watch
had
out
that
now.
game. I had that game.
I play that game.
I bought it for £2 from the shop because
Ooh, it's expensive.
I'm I'm a big spender. But there's two games that I really want to play on the PS2, which is Persona 4 and Shadow of the Colossus, and probably Ico as well.
Shadow of Destiny.
I-
I've never played
I,
that, Bill. I need to check
well,
that out.
well, I got it when the PS2 first came out. Like, I wanted a fucking game to play back then. I wasn't that like picky about it. I was in third grade, but um, my mom like went to the store and just brought home like a game. Like, no, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was like fucking 9, and Shadow of Destiny. It's such an underrated, mind blowing. Just I can't believe that no one knows about this game. Um,
I have heard some good stuff about it,
there's a
so.
PSP port. It was called Shadow of Memories in Japan. Um, oh, it's so rad. The game starts out. You're walking down the street and you get stabbed by somebody. You don't see who it is, and you end up in like purgatory. And this homunculus is talking to you, and they tell you that you were murdered at 2:33 p.m. or whatever on Wednesday, and she's going to give you a chance to prevent your death. And she ports you back to like a half hour before you die, and you have to figure out how to prevent your death. And because it's going to happen, it's your destiny. No matter what, you're going to get stabbed on that street, if you don't find a concrete way to prevent it. So you have to like find a way to attract a bunch of people to the town square around that street. So you tell everyone it's going to be a street performer at 2:30, and so you go there while everybody's there and you're hiding in the crowd so you don't get stabbed, and then you end up getting killed again, and you find out that you are just destined to die. And you have to figure out who is doing it and why and where they came from and with the help of this homunculus. And you travel to the 1800s, and oh my god, the game's incredible. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
That looks really good.
Oh
I'm hearing
man,
your explanation, and I'm looking through some
it
gameplay trailers of it.
it is
It looks really good.
it's
It looks
absolutely
really good.
phenomenal. Like I don't know like people top PS2 game lists and that game's never mentioned. And there's some flaw. I mean, it's not the voice acting's it's fucking terrible. Like your guy's
Well,
name is
you gotta love the
oh
voice
yeah,
acting.
and what adds to it because like that character, the character you are now, because of his voice acting, like I play with my cousin and the guy's name is Ike Kush. First of all, the worst name ever. And like he comes and goes, "Hi, I'm Ike. I'm Ike Kush." Like it's such a bad performance, but it's just so rad and like oh, it's such a mind fuck. Like when you find out, I'm not gonna. Well, you know,
Yeah, don't
I
spoil. There's
won't
different
say.
endings. There's different
Oh,
endings,
there's
right?
so many. There's so many endings.
Yeah,
There's so
I'm
many.
s- shit.
Oh, and it's not a very long game.
No, no, my shelf just like broke, and it's like everything's like falling off. What happened?
It's your destiny. You have to find a way to prevent that from happening now.
What
So,
the hell happened? Where?
but but
Why?
yeah. While he's fixing his house, if you find that game cheap, I mean, like really cheap. What the fuck is that? I think he just fell too.
Oh! My desk is like literally like falling apart
Wait, now
right
your
now.
desk is falling apart.
Yeah, like I guess I pushed on it a little too hard with my foot. Now it's falling apart. Like I'm afraid my whole desk is just gonna crumble right
Well,
now.
we we're gonna do the rest of this episode. I think we're gonna see what happens.
All right, you guys keep talking.
Alright, I'm gonna search Amazon for this game.
Um, but if you can find it really cheap, I highly recommend it. I mean, I don't want to like force you to buy a game, but since you have a PS2 now, um, that
I
game
was actually
is
gonna ask, like, what game should I like
oh nice. So this
play
works.
on?
That's a really
What
good
game should
game.
I delve into? Well, it's 27.99 new or 97p used, so I think I know which one I'm gonna go for.
The new one?
Yeah, totes.
I rebought it like recent like well not recent like a year and a half ago because I don't know what happened to my original copy and I bought it at GameStop and I bought it used for like $6 and it it comes in like their custom GameStop case. Like it has a bunch of cartoon characters like with like comic bubbles like hey
Yeah.
welcome to GameStop and like it has Shadow of Destiny written on it in marker and I'm like this sucks.
I
And,
hate that. I hate that so
and that
much.
was just a really bad GameStop experience to begin with because I walk in, I called them up and I go, hey, do you guys have like a used copy of Shadow of Destiny lying around for the PS2? I know it's a weird question and I know it's kind of odd because I mean, like, who's looking for that game now? Like, how often do they get calls for that? And he goes, and he checked. And he goes, yeah, we have one sitting here. And I go, okay, cool, I'll be right up. And I go in there, I walk in there, and I go, hey man, I just called about Shadow of Destiny. Do you guys have it? And he goes, yeah, look for it. And I'm like I told you I was coming up to get it. Like, could you get it for me? Like what? So he points to his big ass messy bin of just fucking used games, and I found it. The handwriting's bad. It doesn't even look like it says Shadow of Destiny. It looks like it says should
Oh,
you.
I wouldn't be able to buy it without the actual box. Like even
Well,
if I saw the disc lying around, I
I was
wouldn't be
just
able
really
to.
desperate. I figured I just want to play the game again because my cousin and I we wanted to drink and just play through because it's been such a long time since you played it, and we just powered through it in a night. And I was just desperate. Like I figured if I was gonna find this game box with the instructions in an original box, like this game couldn't have printed a lot of copies. There's no way.
How much did you pay for it then? Just wondering.
When it originally came out,
No. When you bought the
six.
GameStop 6. That's
Yeah.
not too bad, I guess, because I'm looking at
Actually,
the prices right now.
let me see.
You can get like one with no manual for like $8,
I have
seven
it
bucks.
sitting here right next to me in this shitty box. It was 6, yeah. Wow, this is a terrible box. But
I
anyway,
just found one for $11. Shipping $10? What?
it ain't $11 no more.
Why? Why is like $10 for the game and then the shipping is
There's
$10?
no reason to charge $10 to ship a PS2
Like
game.
what are you gonna like ship that in a like a flat rate big box or something? Like
Where are they
I,
shipping it from?
It's America, man.
Oh,
It's from
I can see maybe if they're shipping from like Zimbabwe.
California.
But
California.
but yeah, that game's really good. It's really cool. Like you get the street performer to perform. I'm not gonna spoil him, but you get the street performer to perform for you, and like when you find out like who that street performer actually is, and oh my god, and like where oh fuck oh I just want to tell you so bad because it's so cool, but I won't.
Oh, we gotta move on. Gotta
Yeah,
move on.
yeah.
No,
No more.
I'll buy this. I'll buy this and I'll play this. Just saying.
There was one more thing that I played on.
Ooh.
Sorry, this is just like what did I play over the past fortnight? Um, it was called Champions of
I played that.
Norath. Is
It's
that right? Is that what
Yep.
it's called?
Yep, Norath. That's the EverQuest place.
Yeah, I was playing it with Backy Shift, and it was so much fun. But
That's
if
fun.
anything, I want to go back to a podcast that the podcast that we did like whenever I was on last about what game you're most excited for this year.
Mhm.
I think it might be Project Eternity now, if that comes out this year.
Is that the one from Obsidian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called? It's not called Project Eternity anymore, is it? It's
I
Pillars
think
of Eternity.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that game. Like, I went to a panel about it last year, and it had one of the developers on it from the game on the panel, and he was just talking about like developing the game and stuff. And I was like, wow, I wasn't excited before, but now I'm really excited. And then I just forgot about it entirely until I started playing on that, and I was like, oh, that's what I'm excited for.
Champions of Norath's a cool game. I didn't play much of it when I had it, but I actually don't know why or where I got it back then, but it's really fun. Really good
Yeah.
co-op game.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing on it with another person, but I can't
Yeah.
imagine that I would have been like, this is so much fun if I was playing by myself.
Yeah, those kind of action RPGs are really good co-op. That's like that's like if I remember correctly, I am thinking of the right game. That's like a top-down game, or like kind of like Diablo, sort of.
Yeah. Um, it wasn't the best thing ever, but it was just fun. No, I don't really have like loads to say about it. It just
Yeah.
made me really, really excited
You
for
might like
Pillars of Eternity.
Path of Exile.
There's so
Ooh.
many like
That's
things I
free.
need to play.
Yeah, that's a free one. It's a free one like Diablo,
Maybe join us.
Wrath, and
Join
me
us.
and Yoker have been. Well, we started it the other day, but
Yeah.
Okay, well let me know about it.
it's
And
interesting.
It's free on Steam. Path of Exile. I think we talked about it. I think when
Yeah,
you were
I probably
gone, we
brought it
talked
up.
about
I've
it.
put about 60 hours into it.
I
It's
put
good
like
stuff.
3.
well,
It's good though. It's really
Fun.
good. If you're into games like Diablo and stuff, you'll love it.
I've never actually played on Diablo before,
Well, then
but
this is a good one to try because it's free. It's on Steam.
yeah, I like free. Free's good.
And it's on
Free's
Steam.
So
beautiful.
yeah, I think that's everything. I did buy the Humble Bundle as
Cool.
well. Like, not the expensive tier, because I suddenly heard loads of people talking about To the Moon,
I've heard
and
wonderful things about To the Moon.
someone needs to make me play on that in the
Yeah, I
next
bought that
few
as
weeks.
well, and I haven't.
It's only like 2 hours as far as I know.
I know, but I just won't. Instead, I'll start new files on Fallout New Vegas because I'm stupid. It's like I started playing that today, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna get into this game this time. But you always get to the point where you meet the guy who shot you in the head and you kill him, and then there's still loads of game left, and I don't know what to do because I'm like, well, that was my goal, you know. I don't want.
Ah.
So, what? You don't have to kill him, so it's not technically a spoiler.
Okay, well, I don't really care anyway.
I don't know why I can't get into Fallout New Vegas, but I keep trying instead of playing these short 2 hour games that.
I have a hard time getting into both of them. And like, it's not even the game's fault. Like, because I think I've brought this up on the show before. They have everything I want in a game, and I can't.
So, do you actually know why you can't get into them?
I have no idea. I just start playing them, and then I just like kind of taper off after about an hour or hour 2 hours, and never play it again. I
I
think
honestly think
it might
that
be their.
Fallout could really benefit from Skyrim's mechanics instead of the whole. I don't know, picking the points that you put. I don't know why. I just really like, the Skyrim thing where you use
Well,
archery and archery levels up.
I will tell you that I can't wait to see how the next Fallout plays on the Skyrim's engine.
I
It's
hope
gonna
it's
be
good.
it's gonna be so. I think it's gonna be really smooth. I like the FPS mechanics. I think are gonna feel much more meaty,
Yeah.
on them, and I think I think it will have the stat mechanics that Skyrim has. Bethesda likes to kind of keep their same fundamentals from game to game. It seems like I know Oblivion came out and then Fallout came out and Fallout 3 came out. It was very much fundamentally, I mean, in design wise, Oblivion, but in that setting.
Mm. I
Um,
really can't wait.
so I
I
think
really
Fallout
want to
4.
know what Fallout 4 is going to be like. It makes me cry every time I realize there's no news on it yet.
And I think it will further improve on the Skyrim fundamentals and engine. So like, I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Like they're making it. I just really wish they would say like yes.
Yeah, I just want to know. I just want them to say, yeah, we're making it.
You can.
Todd
I
Howard's
mean
involved.
the
That'll
vo-
make me happy.
the voice actor who plays Three Dog pretty much confirmed it. I don't know if
He
he's on
confirmed
that.
that like a year and a half
Yeah,
ago or something, didn't he?
he was like, "Yep,
It
I'm
was.
working on Fallout." And everyone's like, "Oh fuck."
He didn't say that. He said, I'm working on something to do with Fallout. And then everyone was like, is it a movie? And I'm like, obviously not. No.
Yeah, like what?
People.
He's obviously reprising his role. I mean, I didn't beat Fallout 3, so I don't know what Three Dog's fate is, but
That's up to the player.
uh-huh.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm sure Bethesda has some kind of canon they follow. Um, that's a tricky thing about making games like that. Um,
Yeah.
like Mass Effect, they made it easy for themselves by having your save files transfer over. But like in like Elder Scrolls and and like Fallout, like those games, your saves don't transfer from game to game. So if you do something or kill a guy who they want to have in the next game, um,
Yeah.
like they just, I
Wouldn't that
guess
like.
they just follow a canon that they just
Yeah, because otherwise you'd just be eternally fucking with the lore of that game.
But
It's like, oh, I'm going to choose the Imperials, but the Stormcloaks really won. But because I'm with the Imperials, they win.
I
Hooray!
guess and that's the thing. Like if they did a game that took place years after Skyrim, who in their history books won the war? Like, because I mean, in like my game, the Imperials won. So
Hmm.
like,
Why did you choose Imperials?
I don't
I'm
like
not saying this to be like all controversial and stuff, but
I don't like Ulfric.
I literally looked at that storyline and saw that I would have to kill the Jarl of Whiterun and went, I don't want to do that. I'll play Imperial.
Yeah, I hate Ulfric. He was a well that and I was a dark elf. So and he hates all races except Nords. So I'm like, you know what? Kiss my ass, faggot. I'm gonna fucking go help General Tullius. Uh, that and the Imperials just seem more level-headed. Uh, but that and I don't think that the Stormcloaks would be able to take over Skyrim and then form an army unified and with enough resources to take on the Dominion. So, um, uh, I just the Imperials
I
just
don't
seem
know.
like a better choice to me. I like them.
Because I was under the impression that everyone chose Stormcloaks for some reason.
I was gonna like like when I first heard about the Civil War in the game, like before the game came out, and before I knew a lot about like Ulfric and his character, I'm like, oh, cool, Stormcloaks. They're like the fucking the 11s and fucking Code Geass. I'm gonna be on the rebellion side. I'm gonna overthrow the evil government, but like they're just kind of dicks. So all right.
I chose Stormcloaks, but I kind of got caught up in the moment. That just shows whatever, whatever I kind of went with, who I was following. That's kind of what happened to me because I was just
Yeah,
so
I feel
excited to
like
play it.
when
I
you
was just
first
kind of
start
like,
playing that game, you don't understand what choice you're making when it's follow this guy or follow this guy. And it's not like a major choice that you have to stick with through the rest of the game. It's
Yeah.
just it's in your quest log. So
like it's easy to get caught up, I guess, in the moment since there's like a dragon freaking attacking, and you're just
mm,
like, oh my gosh, where do I go? This guy wants to save me. I'm gonna follow him.
Speaking of which, I never actually started a file where I went with the Stormcloak guy. Does he still take you to Riverwood?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I really like uh, the other guy. He took me to his loving family, Alvor. Speaking of which, that family he took you to, like his family with Alvor the blacksmith and his wife and all those people, there was a dragon attack that hit Riverwood once. And I would always go to Riverwood to blacksmith because I married the lady in the shop there, and I kind of made that place like my home. Like, oh, the first place to take me in, I love you, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So I would always go to the blacksmithing thing and hang out with Alvor. And the one time a dragon attacked Riverwood, and I killed it, and I went to rest. So it was daytime, so I can go blacksmithing again. And Alvor never showed up at his post. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's just sticking around or something, like the NPCs like to just stick around. And I waited a little bit, never showed up. I'm like, uh-oh, what happened to my friend? So
Uh-oh.
I go around the one building by this like farm little area there, and there he is, dead, with his wife dead right next to him. And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
wow, what the fuck? Like,
That is so depressing,
first of
dude.
all, it sounds like I'm making up some dumb Skyrim story for Reddit so I can get karma. Like, oh, he died with his wife. No, he was laying there dead with his dead wife, and I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? First of all, get in the fucking house. Like, there's a dragon attacking your little village, and you have the dragonborn here to help you. Like, go at your house. I have fire coming out of my hands. You can rest. But yeah, so now his kids have no parents, and I'm
I
their
think I would
parent.
have been in that situation where I would have just been like, so where was the last time I saved that
Yeah.
would save them?
Well, I would have done that if I didn't save it after I rested. Like, I'm like, okay, I beat the dragon. Let me save my game. Go blacksmithing. And I'm like, oh fuck. My autosave happened when I walked out of this building, and I just saved it.
So you didn't care about them enough to
Uh,
sacrifice like an hour or two of gameplay.
nope. I lived with my tail.
Oh,
The
yeah, that's like more realistic, I
legend
guess.
about. Well, I mean,
You know
shit
what that
happened.
is? Permadeath.
Yep. Alvor
Oh,
has
oh, oh.
permadeath.
Bring it full circle.
What a beautiful moment for the podcast.
Did you take in the
Yeah.
kids? You should have taken in the kids. And be like,
Well, I don't know if I can't just do that.
but you should have just stuck around like brown food, just throw it at them,
And then they would walk in up to me and go, "My dad's gonna teach me how to blacksmith." And I'm like, "No, your dad's not gonna teach you how to blacksmith."
He died.
Because the whole
Stop being in
time,
denial.
like when you're hanging out there at like his house, like these kids are like talking to him, like, "Dad, when are you gonna teach me how to smith weapons?" And he's like, "You're a girl, you can't smith weapons." And yeah, but they're with the really great performance the guy's actor had. And then now not anymore. But the kids don't know like he's dead. So like I don't think
That's so morbid.
like I go to the save file and their bodies are still laying there behind the building. So
Did you loot them? That's the question.
I took the dad's clothes.
Oh, come on, man.
What's he gonna do with them now?
Respect, man. You gotta show some respect for the dead.
Now he's free and naked.
They took you in. He taught you
He did. His wife gave
everything.
stick.
Everything you know. She gave you like take all the cheese you want. But
Yeah.
My favorite thing in Skyrim is when characters die. Not even like important ones like gods or whatever. So I had this dragon attack on Falkreath, and for some reason my game spawns an obscene amount of gods in Falkreath. And there was a dragon attack and a bunch of them died. And then all the NPCs would walk across, like from one building to another, going, "Oh, what happened?" At all these dead bodies just lying there, and stop at every one of them, just going, "Oh, what happened?" And then
I,
continue a bit and go, "Oh,
so
what
sad.
happened?"
Like
I
It's
love
like, "Oh God."
I love the AI in that game. People will hate on stuff like that, like the AI in Oblivion and Skyrim, and it's not up to snuff or this and that. It's not the other thing, and it's not like I love it. It provides so many great moments. Like it's just funny. Like after fighting a pain in the ass dragon, I want to see that happen. I want to see a bunch of people just say the same thing while walking by a bunch of corpses. It makes
I've been doing this like stupid thing where I've been like, "Yeah, I can totally do this." I'm trying to get to level 72 without going legendary on any of the like the skill trees that are at 100, because I really want to fight a legendary dragon, and I know it's going to be a horrible experience, so I don't even know why I'm bothering.
yeah, you could do it. Believe.
The only things that I've got to level up now are heavy armor and all the magic trees,
Do you use
and then I'm
trainers?
done. Do I use what?
Like trainers, like the NPCs who train you?
Yeah, because I'm a cheater.
I use them too.
I'm always like, which one's a merchant? Because then I can get my money back.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Oh, and pickpocket. I need to do pickpocket still, because I'm a terrible thief.
You could pickpocket your money back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Boom. Thanks for teaching me how to steal my money back.
You homeless lady in Windhelm.
Oh, yeah. Skyrim.
See, this is why I was excited about Elder Scrolls Online, is because I was like, yeah, it's going to be Skyrim, but it'll go on forever.
Yeah, and it isn't.
Yeah,
Sorry, and
talk about that next time. Sure.
oh
I
yeah, we
mean,
will.
what?
We will.
I mean, what?
Especially, I don't even care now. Especially after this weekend, after I play NDA. It's so
NDA
obvious.
Online.
It can't be any more obvious than this. We just spent like 20 minutes talking about Skyrim.
That's okay. I'm gonna play it this weekend again, and well, I can say I'm playing it. That's not legal. Um, you can't mention it at all. They black you with the like
It
memory
doesn't
erase
exist.
device. Yeah, but uh, I'm gonna play it this weekend again and just give it one final go before we talk about it for next episode.
I
And
just wonder if there's a way that I don't know how many servers they've got up and if we can possibly play together,
that would be nice.
because then we could
Does it
talk about it.
does it put you on like the European servers?
I don't know if it's just one server that they're just.
Actually, yeah, I don't think I ever picked a server, so I think it. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Hmm.
You said you got into this weekend's test?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay,
got as
cool.
well. I got an email.
Oh wow. I think Kubo got into it as well. Again, I think everybody who got into it once just keeps getting into it again, like
Yeah, it's everybody.
as it goes on. But
I think this is probably going to be the last test
yeah,
that they do, you know?
yeah. I mean, the game's not far off from release, so we shall see. I wish they would do a week-long test. Um,
Yeah.
just 2 days, but I mean, I can see why they do it in small spurts, so they get all the traffic over a short amount of time, so they can get bug reports and keep testing their servers. But
Man, I submitted so many bug reports, it was stupid.
I should do that for this weekend's.
I never submitted anything. I just
I was just like, the
played it.
game stopped working when I shut it down.
I always
You're
say
telling me to submit bug reports for this.
when I apply for betas, I'm like, yeah, I'll do bug reports. I never
Do
do.
you fill in the questionnaire that they send you afterwards?
Ooh, no. Wait,
Because I
No.
spent like 40 minutes filling that thing in. It was
does
stupid.
do they send you one for Outer Scrolls?
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
I
shut up.
They send you one
mean,
for NDA.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
not Elder Scrolls though. I don't know what you're even talking
Yeah.
about. God.
Yeah,
What
the
do you
NBA
mean,
game.
Bill?
But
But it was a stupidly long questionnaire, and it was like there was this whole section about combat, and I was just like, bad, 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 bad. So yeah, what have you been playing, you two?
you want to go first?
I haven't been playing. I haven't
Yokohama.
played too much. I've actually started playing Fire Emblem again.
Nice.
Got probably like another 10 hours into it. I've been enjoying it still a lot. That's pretty much the update. I
Good
want to
update.
finish it. I want to actually get around to finishing it. I think I'm somewhere. I think I'm more than halfway at least. Hopefully, because it's a long game. I want to finish it so I could actually like use that excuse, but like, oh, I actually finished the game on 3DS and like buy Tales of the Abyss or something else. Because even though I love that game, it's pretty much been the only game in my 3DS since
Yeah.
I stopped playing
Well,
Pokemon. So
at least you're better than me. You don't want to end up like me and
that's like that's a
have a stack of 3DS
nightmare,
games that you're never gonna play.
dude. I do have a stack of 3DS games. I'm never gonna.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
never mind.
I have so many, man. But I don't have that many RPGs. I have like platformers and crap like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I've got. I mean, I've got Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Tales of the Abyss, Zelda, Devil's Survivor Overclock, Dragon Quest 9.
Yeah, you got crazy
Um,
RPGs, man.
I feel really good about having 4 games for my 3DS, and I've pretty much finished all of them. So I got
That's
Animal Crossing.
achievement.
Animal Crossing doesn't count.
You're better than us.
Pokemon, Zelda:
Yeah,
Link
you
Between Worlds, and Star Fox 64 3DS version
Nice.
thing.
You finished
Because
that?
that's like a yeah. I finished the hard route for the first time in my life too. It's great.
It's
Love
good,
that
right?
game. Yeah. I got it for £10 on like a stupid Amazon sale. It was great. That's the price I
Wow.
need games to be before I can afford them.
That's a good price. Well, I mean, I don't know how much it is
It was a good.
American, but
It's like
It'd probably be like
$17,
15 something. Yeah. A little over 15.
15, something like that.
still.
Because I don't want to pay £30 for that game because it's not very long and you don't get a ton out of it.
Yeah. That's why I don't know why I bought Shinobi.
What is
Shinobi was cheap
Shinobi? I
as
keep
hell,
hearing
though.
about.
It's a ninja
It's
platformer for the 3DS.
Ninja Platform. It's
Uh,
like a new game. It was really popular back on like Nintendo and crap like that, and they
Mm.
brought it back. It was one of the launch titles, I believe,
or at
back
least
when the
close to
3DS just
launch
came out.
anyway.
Yeah, it was one. I remember like when the 3DS just came out, or within the first couple months, Shinobi was being advertised like crazy. But now it's worth like $5 or something like that, $8.
Yeah, I got it for 12. It came with a Luigi stylus. Don't know
It did?
why. I don't know
What?
why. Dude, it was some like Target thing where they packaged it with like like they had a bunch of 3DS games or a bunch of different ones, and each one came with a different Nintendo character stylus. And it's like a retractable stylus. It like gets longer and everything. And
Damn.
mine has a big rubber Luigi on the top of it. And
Is that the
uh,
one that you use to play? Is that your main? Stylus?
um when I need to use a stylus, only because it's like it's big as a pen when you extend it out. So like for my hands, it's nice. But I don't know why they packaged Shinobi with the Luigi stylus. It just seems quite odd. But I figured I would get Shinobi because it was the year of Luigi last year, and you know,
I
H
bought a Luigi Nendoroid. So I was like, yeah, Luigi, yeah. Don't
support
know why.
Luigi.
I didn't do anything for Euro Luigi. I just didn't give a shit.
Well,
You
I
know,
mean,
This
I
is
like
the
like I
year of
like
Luigi. It's called the
you,
Year of Luigi.
Yokorama, you made it sound like we like celebrated with parties.
I
Oh, I didn't do
I don't
anything that
I
year
don't
for the year
I
of
don't
Luigi.
celebrate. I don't celebrate Euro Luigi. I just not it's not part of my
Oh man.
dude. Didn't like I saw this like joke, but like they're saying it's Euro Luigi, but like Nintendo has like really bad sales this year, so they just made it seem even worse. So because of
for
him, it's
Luigi.
I know I feel really bad for him. I watched that one video of pretty much called like Mario is evil, and main points was that he treats Luigi wrong. So
Well,
There was only one game that I really wanted to play from Year of Luigi, and that was Luigi's Mansion 2, which I
I've
still have
been
to
meaning
up.
to buy that because I love the first game so
I don't
much.
yeah,
know, it was really
buy that
good.
silly.
I also really wanted to buy Dream Team, the Mario and Luigi. Ow, hit my head.
Ooh, yeah. I heard
I
that's
played the demo, dude. That game is so fun. But I just couldn't justify paying $40 for um
another game that you would.
another game, and it's an RPG, and it's about 35 hours long. So I'll never beat it. So I didn't get it.
Well, at least you'd be getting your money's
Yeah, I'll
worth out of the
probably.
game.
That's true. That is very true. Well, I didn't buy it um only because I knew I wouldn't beat it. Uh, I I can't keep buying these long games because I have so many long games and
It's
not enough
funny how
short
we keep
games.
going back to us like not beating these
There's
games.
a common theme here that runs through
Why
every
are we
Bill,
doing a podcast about
podcast.
games? We obviously don't play them.
Yeah,
Bill,
I
we
quit.
need to like make a pact that we'll finish one game at
Well,
least this
well, I beat two
this
games. I beat two games since this podcast started, motherfucker. I beat
Hey, but you started them ages ago, man.
no. I beat Guacamelee from start to finish.
Oh,
Uh,
how long? How many hours did that take you?
12.
Ooh.
and
Really?
I
It took
beat.
him 12 hours to beat a 3-hour long game.
Fuck you. That game is hard. Okay, very
I
difficult.
have a problem with that game where it just plays in like super super fast speed on my computer for some reason.
Well,
So the combat is just like impossibly hard,
it's
and I don't
better.
know how to stop it.
It's better that you never play that game for the sake of your sanity. I've had enough time to mull it over and kind of like think about it, and I did really like that game, but like there's just so many instances where I was just really hating like where I was in my life while playing it. Like
It made you think about like your choices, like
yeah,
what got you to this point.
like specifically the combo chicken challenges were just so fucking bullshit because it wouldn't register my button presses sometimes, and it wasn't my controller. Like I know it wasn't my controller because why would my controller just stop working for Guacamelee? And I googled it, and everyone else had the same problems, and I'm like, well, then fuck you. And I beat it eventually after I calmed down, and you know,
That's my goal. I'll beat that sometime soon. I'll buy that and beat that. It was on sale not too long ago, but
I got it for $3.
yeah, my Steam was like screwing up and it wouldn't let me buy any game, so I couldn't buy it back when it was on daily deal.
It's
Like
a really good game,
PS5.
though. I mean, for, like when you break it down, like it's got a lot of cool stuff in it, and
Yeah, it
it
looks like
is
my type of game.
it is
Like, oh.
really satisfying to conquer the really difficult uh, challenges in the game. Like there's some cool secret items and cool platforming, just extra things. Like there's so many little things to do in the game world itself that doesn't pertain to you beating the story levels that it's really satisfying, but it's also can fuck off.
Yeah.
But I beat that though, and I beat The Last of Us, which I guess might not count because I was already like 6 hours into it when I started playing it back up again like a week ago. But I
Right, I
took
have a question about that game.
yes.
Is it the thing that you should buy a PS3 for?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Uh,
Uncharted 2 is the thing you should buy a PS3 for.
Now,
Gosh.
now, if you were to buy a PS3, would you get other exclusives for it?
Um, I'd probably get No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise just for the sake of
Would
playing
you get
that
Uncharted
again.
2? That's what he's asking. That's pretty
Well,
much the question.
well, I would recommend playing the whole Uncharted series.
I don't care about the first one. Get the 2.
Because when it comes to games with even though the stories aren't connected, I'm a firm believer in going if you're playing a game where the character is continuously going on adventures and you're following that character's journeys, I really like being with that character from the beginning and seeing how because they do develop over the three games, especially Nate and Elena, um, and it's just really cool to see the relationships grow. So I would recommend playing the first one, but I mean, it is the weaker one in the series. Uncharted 2 is mind-blowingly good.
Oh my gosh.
But
Gave me shivers.
the last oh man, to buy a PS3 for like just The Last of Us, because that's the question you asked me, not
Yeah,
other games.
because a lot of people have said if you're gonna get a PS3, this is the game to get it for. And
I've
I kind of wanted to play on Heavy Rain as well, and then I saw a Let's Play of it, and I was like, well, now I don't need to do that. So
yeah, I love Heavy Rain as well. But I mean, like if you've already watched it, like there's no point, I guess. Only because some of the moments in Heavy Rain are really cool to play through. Even though it's kind of just a big movie. Um, like there's a scene where your apartment's on fire and you have to try and get out, and you're shaking the controller like a madman. I was on my floor rolling around trying to shake the controller as fast as I could. My mom's like, "Billy, what the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "Mom, she's gonna die. She's gonna die if I don't do this." And my character's coughing. And I'm like, "Oh shit, her lungs are filling up with smoke." And I'm fucking freaking out, and everyone's like, "My son's an asshole." And it was just a big revealing moment for me. But Valkyria Chronicles is another good exclusive. Well, I'm not gonna list a bunch of
Oh,
exclusives that you
that
should get,
is.
but I'm gonna say I've never, even though I bought a 3DS to play Animal Crossing, I did have other games in mind. I don't know how I feel about buying and spending over 200 something dollars to just play one game.
Hmm.
Um,
It's not that she's gonna play one game. She's
well,
probably gonna buy others
yeah, but I
eventually.
mean, like the question,
Like,
like
is that a console seller? Like for me, I bought a Wii U mainly to play Zelda again, Wind Waker in HD. But that doesn't mean
Hmm.
that's the only game I got. I got a couple of games afterwards already. So
okay, so like if you're looking for like the system seller, like I guess if you're,
yeah, something like to push you over the edge. Like, is that worth it?
then yes. Um,
Okay.
if you're planning on definitely buying other games for it, there are a lot of great exclusives. for the PS3. The Last of Us is I because I know a lot of I didn't play Bioshock Infinite, but I know there's a lot of people on the internet who like to hate on Bioshock Infinite and The Last of Us for being extremely overrated. But The Last of Us, I can honestly say if I tried to like sit here and like give a scathing review of The Last of Us, I'd be nitpicking at little fucking stupid things that don't relate to the overall feel of the game and its gameplay at all. That game is so good, and I'm not gonna sit here and gush about it for 10 minutes, but the story, the way it wraps up, the gameplay, the music is fucking phenomenal. I've never I was listening to some of the tracks in the soundtrack last night because Lou asked us for today's episode what our favorite game soundtracks were, and I'm like, okay, there's so many different ones to pick from, but I just finished The Last of Us, and the score for that game is so awesome. So I was listening to some of the tracks again on YouTube, and like, oh man, just the the emotion behind those songs when because every song in the like when I'm listening to it, like I remember what go because there's a signature moment when a lot of the key songs play, and oh man, that game is so good. The oh, I can't even.
I get you. I get you, man. I know how you feel.
Oh man,
I get like that with Pokemon.
it's it's it is as good as people say it is. It's I didn't like pick a game of the year for last year, because I didn't finish some of the like the flagship games that came out last year, but that's the best game I've played in years. Like story wise, I'm playing a narrative from start to finish.
What, since like Uncharted 2, you think, or did you play
It's
something?
my favorite game since Uncharted 2. Maybe since Portal 2. Uh,
Oh yeah, Portal 2. Oh, that was so good as well.
because Portal 2 was my game of the year that year over Skyrim, which was odd. But
Portal 2 was
What?
my game of the year as well.
there was such a weird feeling in me when I beat Portal 2.
Portal 2 was just so good.
Then the way that Portal 2's narrative unraveled was really cool. I was really well done. But
Yeah, the humor and everything was great.
and the history of Aperture was just it was told so well through its uh fucking like audio files you found throughout the game. But The Last of Us, oh man, damn.
I still need to get around to that. I wanted to rent it because I didn't have a PS3. Actually, I technically still don't have a PS3 because it's at my brother's place. Uh, so I was thinking of renting it instead of buying it since I didn't own one. But I'll probably be picking up a different PlayStation 3 pretty soon, and that's probably one of the first games I'm gonna buy and play on it.
It is very tense. Like you die pretty quick. Fuck up. Like you could fuck up. I fucked up tons. I actually fucked up most of the encounters in the game. And I just turned into, oh fuck, I'm running around, I have to hide, now I'm gonna bash his head in because I fucking suck. But I would like pause the game and take a break. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna get seen by this guy. I gotta pause the game and just stare at my ceiling for like 10 minutes. Now, like that's just probably me being a fucking weirdo. But like,
No, I like games like that. When a game can get you like I guess so immersed that you have to like immerse yourself sometimes. You have to like take a little break because yeah, there's it's kind of like that with a lot of different kind of entertainment. Like you can like be watching a movie or watching an anime or something. You could do that. So I really do find that interesting that you're saying this about this game
but
because
I'm so glad I went back to beat it though because the story is so good, and the game is divided into chapters based on the season, like fall, winter, spring, summer, all that stuff. And I heard so many things about winter. Like it's towards the end of the game. I heard so many things about winter. Like I was talking to a friend at like a party or whatever. He's like, "Oh, you didn't get to winter yet? Oh man, I can't talk to you about it then." I'm like, "Oh yeah, no shit. You're gonna spoil the game on me. No fucking no duh." So and then I'm like, okay, whatever. And then that was like a year ago. So I played through winter the other day, and oh my god, I think winter is my favorite chapter in a video game. Uh, Ever. But then again, I don't really like to say it's my favorite chapter. I don't really know like that many chapters by heart in video games. Your chapter 10 in that one game was really good. I don't.
yeah.
But oh fuck, and the intro to The Last of Us. I don't want. Have either of you seen the opening of the game?
I haven't. I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything actually about it
Have you seen it, Abby?
Yeah,
apart
it was
apart from trailers.
I watched like 2 episodes of an LP of it, and I was like, "This is a game that I have to play to enjoy this." Like,
The opening scene when the like the fungal outbreak happens, and
mm.
oh man, that intro, it to me it rivals. Well, my favorite intro to a game is still the opening to Uncharted 2, uh, where it opens up and you are on you're in a train, and the camera pans out and you are uh, bleeding like out on the chair, and you're like, oh my god, that's my blood. And then the train starts falling off a cliff, and you are hanging off this train, hanging off a cliff. You're 2 minutes into the game, and
What
you're
is this?
like,
Uncharted 2? Is that
yeah,
what
yeah. Well, yeah, like comparing, like
Oh,
that's my favorite intro to a game, and The Last of Us
that is a very crazy
intro
intro.
rivals it. But the intro to Uncharted 3 is good too. Naughty Dog is just fucking good. I'm afraid they're not human beings that work there, and they're just a bunch of weird game machine cyborgs, and they can't make a bad game. Uh, and I I can't wait to see what they do on PS4, because they were always really good at maximizing what the PS3 can do. Like they were so good at like whatever fucking cell processor was in that PS3 that nobody can seem to get right when porting a game to it. The PS3 version was always inferior. Nobody could seem to capitalize because the PS3 was more powerful than the 360. It's just nobody could figure it out because Sony decided to use some weird fucking shit in it. But Naughty Dog was able to say like not say, but they were able to just take that cell processor out on a date and just make the PS3 their bitch, uh, and master it. The Last of Us looks phenomenal. The Uncharted games look phenomenal. I would recommend getting a PS3 for Naughty Dog's games. That's what I would recommend
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
because they're good. They know what they're doing. And Valkyria Chronicles and what other PS3 exclusives do I got sitting over there? I can't see. Well, I can't see, so I'm not gonna name
Sly
anymore.
Cooper. That's not a very exclusive because it's
But
on
yeah,
Vita.
oh, I can't talk about The Last of Us too much, or I'll go on forever. But
Yeah, I don't want you to like accidentally spoil anything as well.
I was so lucky. Like usually, like for everything I like, everything I like big and story based, I like gets spoiled on me before I finish it. Like I've been spoiled on so many Game of Thrones moments. Luckily, I'm not spoiled at all for season 4, so I'm finally going into a season not knowing shit. But it
Oh
seems
my
like,
god, can I just have a minute?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Walking Dead comes out in like 5 days.
Oh yeah, it comes back this weekend.
I'm so
It
excited.
does this weekend. This weekend.
It does.
This week. Oh my god. I didn't know
I'm
time passed so
so
fast.
stupidly excited about it. Ah.
And that's I also knew what was going to happen. Well, I didn't know exactly, but I knew of the death at the end of the last half of Walking Dead. People like to say shit to me, and it makes me mad. Like people just like seeing how I react to that shit. They like seeing me mad for some reason. But somehow, some way, I was not spoiled on The Last of Us.
Alright, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna read book 4 of Game of Thrones and spoil everything. Just to get your
well,
reaction.
this season 4 is the second half of book 3,
Oh
so
shit.
you'd
All
have
right.
book
No,
3.
well then I'll be spoiled
Um,
then. Fuck.
yeah, yeah. But
I would have liked my
uh,
reaction.
this is the first season I've been unspoiled. Actually, season 3 of Game of Thrones was spoiled by Rolling Stone for me, and I tweeted them, and I'm like, "You fucking idiots!" Like, I did. I watched the episode a day later. It's not like I waited years to watch this episode. I watched it. I watched it the Monday after it airs, with my friend, and Rolling Stone tweeted. Now, I knew there was going to be a big event. I knew kind of what was going to happen because people have referenced the name of this event so many times, and I picked up on it as I saw the preview for the next episode. I'm like, oh shit, well, here comes whatever the big moment is. And then Rolling Stone goes ahead and tweets an interview with the actor who dies and puts right in the headline and tweets it. And I'm like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Like, hey, Rolling Stone, you're a major publication. I was supposed to be one of the most respected magazines in the world for your features, and what do? You put in the headline, "We talked to so and so's Endgame and what they think about their departure on this week's Game of Thrones," and I'm like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like, what? I tweeted them. I was so vulgar about it, and I don't care. But The Last of Us wasn't spoiled on me somehow, some way, and I'm so glad it wasn't because it was one of the most conflicting and coolest endings I've ever seen in a video game. And it sounds like I'm misusing like hyperbole and I'm exaggerating so much about The Last of Us. Oh, it's so good. I'm just giving heavy breaths. But this game is so good that I wasn't spoiled. And I read a spoiler. Well, it wasn't a spoiler at the time, obviously, but somebody Giant Bomb was doing like a quick look or like a preview for The Last of Us, and no, it wasn't for The Last of Us. It was for fucking Animal Crossing. And
Huh?
somebody put a comment in the on the video that was apparently it was a fake spoiler for The Last of Us, but I didn't know because the scripts leaked or something like that, and people knew shit, and somebody commented, and the two characters are Joel and Ellie, and the comment says, "Hey, at the end of The Last of Us, Joel has to eat Ellie to survive," and oh fuck, I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I'm not gonna buy the game now. I know how it ends. Like, I was so hyped up for this game, but if I know exactly how it ends, like, even if the game's good, like, I'm not gonna buy it like right off the bat. I'm gonna wait. And then I replied to him, and I'm like, oh, you dickus, and like, and somebody responded back, and they go, don't worry, that's not the end of the game. Not even close. So I'm like, okay. And the more I thought about it, like, I'm like, okay, that's the worst ending ever.
That is pretty damn
And
ridiculous,
and I
dude.
don't see it even when you start the game, like for that to happen, that's so lame, and like it wouldn't happen. So it was just some dickhead trying to. But first of all, it was on an Animal Crossing preview video, so I'm like I was just mad the whole week. Like I didn't, nobody responded. It wasn't a spoiler yet. So the whole week, I'm like talking to my dad. I'm like, yeah, Dad, you know that Last of Us game? I'm not fucking buying it. I'm not fucking buying it. And he's like, why? I'm like, I was on an Animal Crossing video, and somebody told me the characters eat each other, and like, yeah, I'm flipping out, and like it wasn't even true, and um, that guy trolled his way to
That
me.
guy, he probably never expected that some guy would take it seriously. This like
Yeah.
this seriously.
Well, so many people responded like fuck you, dick," and like he didn't, like he won that for temporarily until people came and dismissed it. But
He still won.
yeah, that game's really good though. In conclusion, The Last of Us is a wonderful game.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out then for sure.
Um, oh, it's so
Can I
good.
just ask if we like literally just had a podcast of talking about games that we've played over the past week?
That's
Yeah,
kind of what it seems like has
that's
happened.
okay. That's okay. I guess we should answer some questions before we
Is
wrap
there any quick ones? Any
this
quick?
song bitch up. I would like to answer Lou's.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of we kind of mentioned it already.
Yeah, what our favorite soundtrack is in a game. Who would like to go first? If you know.
Well, I actually know my answer if that's
Nice.
helpful. So, the Assassin's Creed 3 DLC, The Tyranny of King Washington, had an amazing soundtrack. Just I listen to it, and it makes me feel things, and it's like I've got chills from listening to this song. I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen, and it's just so fitting to the game, and it's still good to listen to outside of the game, which I think is really important when you're thinking about soundtracks. Is does it fit in with the game? Can you listen to it when you're not playing the game?
It's a good point.
So
Does the music stand on its own?
Hmm.
Uh, I. This is a tough one for me because like I can either pick one based on like nostalgia, like these songs do something for me emotionally, or these songs are amazing. Like I would pick World of Warcraft. But I don't know. I don't like the whole. That's the thing is I don't like the whole thing. I just like the Ironforge theme because when I hear the Ironforge theme from Vanilla WoW, I just want to like find someone and sacrifice them to make a time machine so I can go back and play that game in eighth grade on my laggy computer that had 248 megabytes of RAM. Somehow it was missing 8 megabytes of RAM. I don't know what happened to it. Because my computer was the minimum requirements at the time were 256, and I thought I can play it because I had 256 RAM in my crappy computer. And then it said I don't meet the requirements, and I'm like, wait, how's that possible? How do I have less than 256? And somehow 8 megabytes disappeared. But World of Warcraft soundtrack's really nostalgic. But as a whole though, there's a lot of ambient tracks that I just don't care to listen to. Like just kind of like.
there's some really really good songs
But
in
that's
World of Warcraft though.
Yes.
Like, there was a quest that I played called Cities in Dust, and you're with Lady Sylvanas, and she's basically singing this song in the background, and I don't remember what it's called. Is it Lament of the Highborn or something? I don't know, but it's really, really good. I don't know.
It does, Call to Arms is an awesome track on the soundtrack. I was listening the other day. I was doing homework, and I was listening to the soundtrack. The Vanilla WoW soundtrack was uploaded in entirety to YouTube, and I'm like, let's listen to some of this. It's good background music, and oh man, it's just some of it's really soothing and good. Blizzard does a good job production value wise. But if I'm picking my favorite, like the best soundtrack,
I think all the soundtracks you would pick are like nostalgic in some sort of way too.
yeah, because when you hear the song that
Yeah, it brings back so many emotions that you had or like that what you were feeling back when you were playing that moment. So
I'm going to say The Last of Us, though, is my
Of course
answer.
you are.
It's so generic and cliche. Oh, look at Bill, he just huffed and puffed for the last 30 minutes, and here he goes. But that whole soundtrack, I was listening to it again last night, like because I wanted to make sure, but this was my favorite soundtrack. Um, it's so good. It's so cool, and the songs. That I forget his name. It's a crazy name. It's like Gustavio Subidababadu or something. I don't remember. Probably should look it up out of respect for the man. But um, fuck that game. Oh, anything Jeremy Soule does too is really good. Like Morrowind is my favorite Elder Scrolls soundtrack. Um,
Mm,
but there's only like four tracks and it's looped at the whole game. But um,
they're really good though. So,
yeah, it's okay. Um, Elder Scrolls series in general has a really good.
oh, I do like Skyrim's theme songs and stuff as well.
yeah,
Like the
I do.
Sovngarde song when you
Really
get to
good.
Sovngarde. Spoilers, I guess.
There's so many good songs in Skyrim. Even the Bard songs are really cool. Um,
Oh, what's your
Skyrim's good.
favorite Bard song? That's the question.
Dragonborn comes.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's not that. I don't
I'm not
remember
a
what mine's
huge
called.
Hero,
Is
a
it?
hero, an area.
That's because I listen to so many covers of that. That's why.
Is it just that one girl who's really, really good?
I've listened to that's she's probably one of my favorite, but I've listened to so many different covers of that song at this point.
Yeah, I like. Is it Tale of Tongues?
That's one of them.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
one
remember it too well though.
is very good. That's my favorite. There we go.
Boom. But yeah, Last of Us soundtrack for me is my favorite.
For
Um,
my favorite soundtracks, I'm
I
gonna
like.
have to go with like classics because for me, when it comes to a soundtrack, it's heavily based off nostalgia. I could say stuff like Uncharted 2. I love that sound. Actually, Uncharted overall has a really good soundtrack.
Dude, the Uncharted theme is so good.
Yeah, it is. I
Oh
would
my
just the
god.
first time
Da,
when I
da,
turned on
da,
Uncharted 2,
da,
I just let
da,
it
da,
play
da,
for like
da,
it was really good.
da,
But
da,
going
da, da,
going classic,
da,
going
da,
classic would
da,
probably have to be in the it's
da.
gonna be Zelda. I probably have to go with Zelda if we're
Dude,
gonna talk
Ocarina of Time has some
uh,
wicked tracks. I never
like
beat that
any
damn
kind of
game,
Zelda
but
tracks.
dude,
They're all really good. Zelda tracks are bomb, and
you know,
I listen
uh,
to a lot of dubstep remixes of them lately.
the Song of Storms, do 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 do, be ba do 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 do, be do be do be. I never beat Ocarina of Time, and that song's
Well,
awesome.
everybody knows those songs. They're
Yeah, they're
iconic at
iconic.
this point.
seeing the Zelda Symphony live was something that I was like, yeah, this is going to be a cool experience, and then it just like
Oh,
all these emotions. I started crying at one
I
point
probably,
because
I
I'm
probably
not
would have
even
broke
joking.
down. I would have broke
Uh,
down if I was there.
they were like, okay, so we've got a special guest now. It's Koji Kondo from Nintendo. And this little like Japanese guy comes on stage and he wrote all the music for Zelda. He's like, hello, I'm Koji Kondo from Nintendo. And he sat down at the piano and played Grandma's theme from The Wind Waker, and I bawled my eyes out. I was like, it was so amazing.
I heard Wind
Uh,
Waker doesn't get much love.
I
That's
know. I don't know why they made a HD remake of that game. I love that
I'm
game.
really
It's my favorite
happy that
Zelda
they made
game,
it. I love that they made it. It's
but
not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. Probably my top three, but it was
it's
really
definitely my favorite. But I don't get why, because just fucking no one likes that game. I don't know why.
a lot of people don't like it like for the art style. That's a big reason why people don't like it. It's very different.
I don't get why they were like, oh, no one likes the art style. Let's make Spirit Tracks and other
Like
game. I
I
don't know
I
what it's
love
called.
that art style. Like It's really good.
And I can't say I was like a massive fan of it, but it was definitely something different. And
Yeah. Well, thankfully, it's critically acclaimed anyway. Well, from what I've seen anyway.
It's still really good. I recently went through it again since I got it for the HD
Wait.
remake.
Oh, the
It's
Wind Waker. Yeah.
yeah, it's still really good. Like it's as good as I remember it.
there's so many neat things that they added to that game, though, like simple stuff like the Swift Sail
Hmm.
that just means you can go through the sea faster. And it's like, oh, that would have
But
been great in the first game.
actually, I didn't mind it in the first game. I really like going through the sea. It's very
It was
relaxing.
when you needed to go from like Outset Island to Forsaken Fortress or something stupid, and you're like, oh, now I'm doing this for an hour.
It's just like you're just going through the. I like the water animation though. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love that game. I think that game's amazing. So
But yeah, and also like we could say like obviously like Mario and stuff like that. That stuff is really good.
Alright, yeah.
You can always go back and listen to those soundtracks. Not just like the original one, like do 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 do. Like that's the Mario soundtrack. But I'm talking about the other ones. And I also want to say Portal. Portal 2 soundtrack is really good.
Yes. Thanks
I
to
love
John.
that the ending theme with Gladys singing.
Once you gone, it's
It's like
awesome.
one of the best songs ever.
You know, it's not my favorite, but dude, it's newer. Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. That game's songs are like the songs for the main cities are unbelievably good. Like I only played that MMO for a few months, but when I hear those songs like on YouTube or something, I feel like I've been playing that game for like 10 years.
Yeah, it already feels
Like
nostalgic. Yeah.
it's so weird. Like I listen to the Gridania theme or the Holda theme, and I'm like, oh my god! Like I feel compelled to just play this game like I live there or something. It's really nice when a soundtrack to a game that's not groundbreaking. Like Final Fantasy 14 is a typical MMO. I mean, it's really well made. I like it a lot, but like it's it's not it's the sum of its parts, not just the MMO mechanics that really make me love that game. So I guess that's important for a soundtrack to do as well.
Mm.
Um, but anyway, but did you say your favorite one, Yoko? Or
Yeah,
Zelda? Zelda.
yeah, Zelda.
That's right.
That's
Is
the
it
one I
just
keep.
Zelda the franchise on a whole? Or...
Yeah, because like each game like has soundtracks in it. So pretty much Zelda. I'll just go with
Yeah.
Zelda. I always go back to those. That's the soundtrack I usually go back to most. And obviously like Donkey Kong and stuff. Like you guys should like YouTube Donkey Kong dubstep. Really cool.
That's that put on my list of things to do. Sunday, Donkey
It's like
Kong dubstep.
it's so good, man.
Oh God.
I love it. You have no idea, man. It's really
All
good.
right, and the last question that since we've been going for a little while that
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick from here. Um, from a man. Oh, well, yeah, the last one was from Lou. This one is from Cool Surfer 2 on Twitter. His
That's a
name
cool
is
name.
My Cow Eats Cows.
That's even
Uh,
cooler name. That's both two cool names.
with a
So.
Boston Celtics avatar. Go Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan as well. So I'm getting brownie points to this guy here. He says, what's your favorite story driven game?
Whew.
Uncharted 2.
He
Yeah,
says he says, what's your favorite story driven game like Beyond Two Souls? But I guess he was just giving that as an example, like that's a story driven game that he likes.
Portal 2, that's also a story-driven game. That's
Yeah.
a super story-driven game. From what I've played of BioShock, I've only played the first one. I also like that because I pretty much I like games that you can collect like pieces of information.
Mm-hmm.
You can totally like just play without that, but it helps and just immerses you more into the story. But like games like that, I really love games like that.
This is hard because
I'm trying to pick a game with a good story, not particularly a story-driven game, I suppose.
What this can work for like a lot of games though.
yeah, but I guess when you look at it like say Skyrim,
Yeah, that's not a
I
story-driven
mean
game.
like there's a story, but I mean like the story doesn't really drive you through the game because you can just ignore it the whole time and play it forever. Like I guess a story driven game is one where you have to progress the story to play the game. I guess is what I would define that as for this question to make it easier
God
to
of War,
Mm.
answer.
God of War trilogy. I like the whole story,
I do
the
like God of War. I don't like the story
gods and
very
stuff.
much.
I like the story. I
I like
really like how it gets like really like epic.
I like the
Like, oh,
gameplay of God of
Zeus and
War.
bro.
It's a ton of fun. Especially,
But it is a story driven game though.
but it is, yeah, it is story driven.
I hate to sound repetitive, but it's probably Assassin's Creed.
I really think
Hey,
we should like actually get around to playing that. Like
I
Bill and
think one day I will. I mean, I
Everybody's
can't make it,
Assassin's Creed this, Assassin's Creed that.
I can't make any promises, but
We're like, what?
I don't know. Maybe it's not Assassin's Creed because I don't think the story in Assassin's Creed is particularly shining in any way.
but it
But
is a story-driven game technically. So if it is your favorite,
I guess it would be. Like, I was thinking maybe Eternal Sonata, but I don't really care for that too much. Like in terms of story,
Mhm.
I just thought the gameplay was really fun. So I don't know. I'm struggling.
yeah, it's
Yes.
tough. It's tough
So
because
No. Would Wind Waker count?
yeah,
It'd be Wind Waker then. Yeah. That's my answer.
boom.
Ha ha. I didn't say Assassin's Creed. Ha
Question
Oh, yeah, you did say Assassin's Creed, but then
No, I didn't. It's not
Dad,
my final answer. Please.
This is tough because I mean, like, I love Alan Wake like very much. I really like what Alan Wake did, like as far as presenting itself as a TV show, and the ending of that game. Still, I refuse to play the DLC even if it ends the game better, because I feel like the ending of that game is so ambiguous and just so fucking cool, open ended the way it is. But and Uncharted 2 is so good, and Red Dead
oh,
Redemption is so
a
good.
recent one, The Walking Dead. That's a really story-driven game by Telltale.
But I'm
No,
gonna,
that's pretty much all story, isn't it?
That is, yeah, a story with you making decisions by clicking.
but I'm gonna say The Last of Us.
Yeah, what? You're picking that over Uncharted 2?
Yep,
Dude, that's crazy shit. Are you sure?
I am 100% positive.
Are you like is that your final answer? If you say that, you
Yes.
can't take. Hey,
Yes, is my final answer. It is one of my favorite ending sequences to a game. Uh, and the winter chapter alone, just
damn, dude.
stuff that happens in the narrative in the winter chapter is so intense and just so like holy fuck balls that it's my favorite. Final answer.
Damn, dude.
Man, The Last of Us for everything.
Yeah, I kind of the last half hour has been Last of Us has good music. Last of Us is my favorite story-driven game. The Last of Us
I
paid,
agree, The Last of Us.
The Last of Us paid my student loans. The Last of Us.
They eat each other at the end. That's a spoiler.
Oh man. But
Nice.
but yeah.
So, is
Speak.
the next podcast going to be pretty much all about Elder Scrolls Online?
Pretty much. That's
Or is it just going to be
Yes.
you still going,
We can talk
I
about
really like The
stuff
Last of
like,
Us?
officially next time. And in-depth stuff. Like, I mean, the thing about the NDA is like you mentioned it in passing, and you mentioned you've played it, and you know, like, oh, it was kind of okay. But I mean, it's really on like in-depth stuff. Like, I can't talk to you publicly on the internet, in a video about like the meat and potatoes of the game. So we're good with what we've mentioned so far, but next week we'll be able to talk about uh,
everything.
everything, the skills,
Every single thing.
leveling, and everything.
Everything and everything.
Actually, we kind of did that anyway without naming it that one time. So, next thing we're going to talk about it. And before we end this, it's funny because we got this question before we did episode 2 while you were away, and I was reading this question and I'm like, well, I wonder if they watched episode 1, um, because you talked about it a lot in depth. And the question, and it's funny, 'cause this is definitely for you. Um, what's your thoughts on Assassin's Creed? All of them. And I read the question and I'm like, oh,
Okay, let me do this abridged. Assassin's Creed 1, not very good. Assassin's Creed 2, very good. Assassin's Creed 3, not quite as good as Assassin's Creed 2, but better than 1. Assassin's Creed 4 I haven't played on. Assassin's Creed Liberation so far seems really good. And Desmond Miles is pointless. There you go.
That's the whole timeline almost.
boom.
Boom.
Probably
Answer
some
this question.
spin-off games, but
There you go, home slice. All right.
I think by now he's probably like he knows already by now.
Yeah.
Even if he skipped the first one, he heard her talking about.
probably take a guess that I quite like Assassin's Creed. I think it's quite good.
Also, I wanna thank Lou for continuously putting different hashtags and trying to make them stick every time he talks about the Permadeath podcast.
The thing is, I think the only one Ryan is the only one that actually used hashtags.
Well, he uses Permanent Podcast, and then Lou uses PDP, and now he asked us a soundtrack question, and he used hashtag Ask PDP, which is nice, quick, and catchy. I would like to see that trending one day.
Yeah, PDP.
But thanks for continuously trying to do that. I'm not.
One day it might
sarcasm
stick.
either.
Yeah, it might stick one. Hopefully.
It makes your tweet look good. Um, but yeah. So
That's the app. That's the app.
that's the app.
Yep.
That's the app of
That's
PDP.
also I played Loadout. Loadout's a really good game. That's all.
Oh shit, we didn't get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah,
But I was kind of hoping to talk about that with Ryan because Ryan played like 15 hours of it in the past
Yeah.
couple of days.
I mean, I played like 5 with him the other night, and with a couple of his friends. It's a really good free game, but I will talk about that more in the future. Um, all I can really say right now is it's good. Check it out. It's free on Steam. It's fun. But yeah, so
We gotta love free. So
Permadeath
Okay.
podcast episode 3.
Thanks
Complete.
for listening.
Goodbye, everybody.